So, you're looking for the absolute best motorcycle boots in 2025. Whether you're ripping corners on a sport bike, cruising down Route 66 on your Harley, or conquering continents on your adventure rig. Here's the thing though, wearing the wrong boots for your riding style is like bringing a knife to a gunfight. But wait, what if I told you that the most expensive boots on the market might actually be the worst choice for your specific bike? You see, slapping race boots on a cruiser isn't just a fashion faux pas. It's downright dangerous for your ankles when dealing with forward controls. Yet, manufacturers keep pushing their flagship models without explaining this crucial detail: the protection paradox. Before we dive into our top picks for each riding category, we need to talk about something that'll blow your mind. You know those 4 mysterious numbers on your boot's CE label, like 2222 or 1222? Well, here's what the industry doesn't want you to know. Sometimes level 1 boots are actually safer than level 2. Yeah, I said it, and I'll prove it. See, EN 1364 2017 certification tests 4 things: boot height, abrasion resistance, cut protection, and transverse rigidity. That first number, it's just telling you if it's a short boot or a tall boot. The real magic happens with those next 3 numbers. Level 2 means the boot survived 12 seconds of belt sanding versus 5 seconds for level 1. It means a blade penetrated less than 15 millimeters instead of 25 millimeters. And it means the sole needs 1.5 kilonewtons of force to deform versus just 1. But here's the controversial part. As MCN's technical analysis revealed, Dainise's Axial D1 boots, worn by actual MotoGP racers, they only achieve level 1 in some areas. Why? Because extreme rigidity can actually decrease your ability to control the bike. Sometimes active safety, preventing the crash in the first place, trumps passive armor. Now, before we get into the specific boots, if you're enjoying this deep dive into gear that could literally save your feet, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, after seeing what happens to unprotected ankles in crashes, you'll want every bit of knowledge we're dropping here. Cruiser and heritage boots. Let's start with the rebels, the weekend warriors, the chrome and leather crowd. Cruise riders face a unique challenge. You need ankle flexibility for those highway pegs and forward controls, but you still want armor that doesn't scream, "I just walked out a track day." TCX Fuel WP, the stealth champion. Coming in at around $300, the TCX Fuel WP is what I call the mullet of motorcycle boots. Business up top, party at the bottom. According to RevZilla's 2025 cruiser picks, these offer the perfect balance of protection and style. We're giving this an overall protection score of 8 out of 10. You'll see the exact EN rating pop up on the screen now. These things pack serious reinforcement with D30 ankle cups. Yeah, the same stuff they use in military body armor, but nobody knows it's there. The genius here is in the hidden reinforcement. Unlike sport boots that wear their shields on the outside like a badge of honor, the Fuel WP tucks everything between the liner and the leather. Check out our ankle bracing score on screen. Solid 7 out of 10 for cruiser needs. The sole uses GroundTrax rubber compound that's specifically designed to grip both your foot pegs and that oil-slick parking lot at your favorite roadhouse. For weather resistance, and we're showing this as 9 out of 10 on screen, these feature a certified Gore-Tex membrane. But here's where walkability shines at 8 out of 10. You can actually wear these all day without looking like you're headed to a track day. Icon Elsinore 2, the rule breaker. Now, here's where things get spicy. The Icon Elsinore 2 boots, at about $280, are technically cruiser boots, but according to Gear Junkie's cross-platform testing, they're extremely comfortable on any type of motorcycle, from sports bikes to adventure rigs. The buckles, they're mostly for show. You set them once and forget them. The real action happens with that inner lateral zipper. Looking at our scoring breakdown on screen, you'll notice the ankle bracing gets a 6 out of 10. Lower than the TCX, but there's a reason. These don't have steel toe caps. And before you old-timers start typing angry comments, let me drop some knowledge on you. Steel toe caps in motorcycle boots are actually more dangerous than having no toe armor at all. In a serious impact, that steel can deform and literally amputate your toes. Yeah, Sit with that for a minute. The walkability score hits 9 out of 10 though. These are seriously comfortable for all-day wear. As for sizing, Icon offers these in regular width only, which drops our fit score to 6 out of 10. Sport and track boots. All right, speed demons, this is where things get serious. Sport boots are the fighter jets of footwear. Highly specialized, incredibly armored, and absolutely useless for walking to the coffee shop. But when you're dragging knee at 80 miles per hour, you'll be grateful for every millimeter of that shield. Alpinestars SuperTech R, the MotoGP standard. These $500 monsters are literally what Marc Marquez wears when he's defying physics. MCN's track boot testing confirms these are the industry standard for serious racers. Watch that protection score light up at 10 out of 10 on screen. The SuperTech R features something called biomechanical inner booty. Basically, a boot within a boot that works like an exoskeleton for your ankle. Our ankle bracing rating? Perfect 10. The transverse armor here hits level 2 across the board in EN 13634 testing, meaning it takes 1.5 kilonewtons of force to crush these things. To put that in perspective, that's roughly the same force as a 330-pound weight dropped from 15 feet. Your ankle would turn to powder before these boots fail. But here's where the weather score drops to 3 out of 10. They're perforated for airflow, which means zero waterproofing. Alpinestars assumes if you're serious enough to drop $500 on race boots, you're not riding in the rain anyway. Bold assumption, but they're not wrong. Walkability? A painful 2 out of 10. You'll sound like a tap dancer and walk like a penguin. Denise Axial 2, the inside job. At $550, the Axial 2 takes a completely different approach with their mono boot system. These actually go inside your leathers, creating better aerodynamics and preventing that annoying boot-to-suit gap that can catch wind at speed. Check out our protection rating on screen. Another perfect 10. The construction uses D-stone fabric, a proprietary blend with cowhide leather inserts. The outer shell combines carbon fiber and aramid. That's Kevlar's fancy cousin, creating a structure that prevents ankle rotation beyond safe limits. That ankle bracing score? 10 out of 10. Matching the Alpinestars. Here's a pro tip nobody talks about. If you have Dainese leathers, get Dainese boots. If you have Alpinestars leathers, get Alpinestars boots. The internal boot systems are designed to work together, and mixing brands is like putting Android apps on an iPhone. For sizing, both brands run narrow, so our fit score shows 5 out of 10 for wider feet. Time for that second call to action. If you're finding this breakdown helpful, drop a comment with your riding style. I'm curious to see if sport riders are even watching this far, or if they've already clicked away to watch crash compilations. ADV and adventure boots. Adventure riders are the Swiss Army knives of motorcycling. You need gear that can handle everything from highway slabs to goat trails, from Death Valley heat to Alaskan permafrost. Your boots need to shield you at speed, but still let you hike to that perfect camping spot. TCX Infinity 3, the Goldilocks boot. At $329, the TCX Infinity 3 hits that sweet spot between MX level armor and touring comfort. Gear Junkies testers called these the best full-length boots they've ever used, and RevZilla's 2025 ADV Roundup highlighted the revolutionary adjustment system. Our protection score shows 9 out of 10. Level 2222 certification across the board. Our tester put 10,000 kilometers on these across the Trans-European Trail. And here's what nobody else will tell you. The adjustment system is revolutionary. Instead of traditional buckles that create pressure points, the Infinity 3 uses a BOA-style wire tension system. This means even pressure distribution across your entire shin and calf. No more purple feet after 8 hours in the saddle. That ankle bracing score? Solid 9 out of 10. Weather resistance hits 8 out of 10 with certified waterproofing, while walkability manages a respectable 7 out of 10. The sole features what TCX calls differentiated rigidity zones, engineering speak for stiff where you need it, flexible where you don't. Forma Adventure, the budget destroyer. Here's the boot that makes the premium brands nervous. The Forma Adventure at just $250. According to MCN's 2025 value picks, these Italian-made boots have been best sellers since 1999. and they've perfected the formula. Look at that value. Protection score of 8 out of 10 with full level 2222 certification. The dirty secret? Forma only makes boots. While Alpine Stars and Dainese are spreading their R&D across suits, gloves, and helmets, Forma puts every penny into footwear. Our ankle bracing rating shows 8 out of 10. And here's the kicker. They offer these in multiple width options, earning a fit score a 9 out of 10. Weather sealing gets 7 out of 10 with their Dry-Tex membrane, though it's not quite Gore-Tex level. Walkability? A surprising 8 out of 10 thanks to that anti-shock EVA midsole. Technology you'd typically find in $400+ boots. Revit Expedition GTX, the tank. At $450, the Expedition GTX is what you buy when you're serious about defense but still want to walk normally. According to RevZilla's ADV specialist reviews, Revit borrowed from their touring expertise and created what they call a DSF, Dynamic Support Frame System. Watch that ankle bracing score hit 10 out of 10 on screen. This prevents hyperextension beyond 45 degrees. Way more than you'd ever need for normal riding, but crucial when your 600-pound adventure bike decides to use your leg as a kickstand. For weather, we're showing a perfect 10. The Gore-Tex membrane isn't just waterproof, it's guaranteed for life. If these boots ever leak, Gore-Tex will literally buy you new ones. That's confidence. Touring and commuter boots. Touring riders are the marathon runners of motorcycling. You need boots that can handle 12-hour days, sudden weather changes, and still look presentable when you check into that fancy hotel. Daytona Roadstar, the forever boot. At $470, the Daytona Roadstar isn't cheap. But here's the thing. MCN's long-term testing revealed testers still wearing 8-year-old pairs with tens of thousands of miles on them. These German-made boots are completely rebuildable. Check out that protection score, 9 out of 10 with level 2222 certification. They're available in multiple widths, not just sizes. That fit score, perfect 10 out of 10. If you have weird feet, Daytona has you covered. They even offer different heights for each calf size. It's like having boots custom made, except without the custom price tag. Ankle support rates 8 out of 10, while weather resistance hits 9 out of 10. The only downside, walkability scores 6 out of 10. These are touring boots, not hiking boots. TCX Street 3 WP, the commuter's dream. At $180, these are the boots for riders who use their bike as actual transportation. Gear Junkie's urban testing praised how these make you forget you're wearing motorcycle boots. They look like high-top sneakers your teenager would wear, but hidden inside is CE level 1222 armor. Protection score shows 7 out of 10. Not track level, but perfect for urban riding. The genius is in what TCX calls urban camouflage. Park your bike, walk into the office, and nobody knows you're wearing motorcycle boots. Walkability? Perfect 10 out of 10. The reinforced ankle areas are molded into the shape itself, earning a stealth ankle bracing score of 6 out of 10. Weather resistance gets 8 out of 10 with the T-Dry membrane, and these come in regular width only. Fit score of 6 out of 10, but for the price and purpose, unbeatable. The weather factor and the truth about fit. Let's talk about something nobody mentions. Waterproof membranes can actually make your feet more wet in certain conditions. In hot weather, your feet sweat. That moisture can't escape through the membrane, so it builds up inside the boot. You end up with soggy feet even though it never rained. The solution? If you ride primarily in dry conditions, skip the waterproof version and get ventilated boots with waterproof over boots for the occasional shower. Your feet will be drier 90% of the time. Here's something that'll ruffle feathers. The most armored boots aren't always the safest. A super stiff MX boot on a sport bike can actually increase injury risk because you can't feel the controls properly. A race boot on a cruiser can hyperextend your ankle because they're designed for rear set pegs, not forward controls. And those motorcycle sneakers everyone loves to hate, in urban riding, under 40 miles per hour, they might actually be safer than tall boots because you're more likely to put your foot down quickly in an emergency. The final rankings. After all this analysis, here are the top picks for 2025 with their overall scores displayed on screen. Best Cruiser Boot, TCX Fuel WP. Perfect balance of stealth and safety. Best Sport Boot, Alpine Stars SuperTech R, when only MotoGP level will do. Best ADV Boot, TCX Infinity 3. Comfort meets serious armor. Best Touring Boot, Daytona Roadstar. Buy once, wear forever. But here's the real takeaway. The best boot is the one you'll actually wear. A level 1 boot on your feet beats a level 2 boot in your closet every single time. Look, I've been riding for over 2 decades, and I've seen trends come and go. Carbon fiber this, titanium that. But at the end of the day, your boots are doing one job: keeping your feet attached to your legs when things go sideways. Don't let anyone tell you that you need $600 race boots for your Sunday cruise to the coffee shop. But also, don't cheap out with $50 fashion boots that'll disintegrate the moment they touch asphalt. Find the right boot for your riding style, your bike, and your risk tolerance. If this deep dive helped you understand what to look for in motorcycle boots, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Until then, keep the rubber side down and the shiny side up. And remember, dress for the slide, not the ride. Peace out, riders.